All right, this is a stop within the St. Rose and Lima Cemetery of Chicopee, Massachusetts, or in front of the very old Potter's Field. A Potter's Field is where the very poor people are buried, the ones that could not afford a burial. And it's good that a cemetery will even have one. A lot of Catholic cemeteries, they won't even have these kind of sections. And that's because they'll say, oh, go have a burial in the Protestant cemetery because you can afford it here. But this cemetery was nice. It had a beautiful baby section, a beautiful family section. And there's many stones, but remember this. There's probably 1,000 burials in the space in front that looks to be very old, and yet I would say there's only 30 stones. All right, so that means 970 people don't have stones, and that's very typical. But when they were buried, they would have had a wooden cross that the family would have put down and etched the name into it. So for years and years, they couldn't come and visit that area. But of course, eventually a wooden cross is going to wear out and go away. And now the cemetery was made in the year 1910, and the first burial was from that year. And that first person is thought to be a pauper in this section here. I cannot find, by looking at the old Chicopee death records, who that would be. But you can see some right in front of you, and so I'll investigate a few in front of me. There's one right in front here, Edna Shabbat, died 1917. She was only 22 years old. She could have died, she would have died in Chicopee, probably strongly associated with the St. Rose Lima Church or one of the other two Catholic churches, St. George or Nativity. And you can see this stone, it looks so primitive. It was probably made by a family member into some kind of stone I can't even recognize. And so it was hand done. And that's very unusual. And behind it is another 1916 burial, Emma Roy Lozel. And that one's a modern burial, so someone made that flat stone one and put it in. But next to it is an original white stone, and that was professionally done. So the family could not afford the full burial. But maybe within a few years, someone got money within the family and built up a stone for a person. This is Francois Cloutier Dessay, that means died, the 20th of August 1916, aged of 33 years. A lot of these people are very young, and they didn't have established families, and that's very typical. They would have worked in the mills in Chicopee and been very poor. These are pauper graves within a potter's field. So thank you for coming on this stop.